Joining us now is Daniel Suhr, who is the president of the Center for American Rights. It looks to me like you're a conservative organization. Would that be accurate, Daniel?
I think that's fair, Bill. Absolutely.
Okay. So, what has driven your organization to get involved with this?
Yeah, it's really the lack of trust on the part of the American people with our major media institutions. We, as the American people, own the public airwave, and we trust the FCC, the Federal Communications Commission, to ensure the public is protected when it comes to what goes across the airwaves. One component of that is that news broadcasters have a responsibility not to manipulate, suppress, or distort the news. And we think CBS failed that responsibility here.
CBS is basically saying, look, everybody edits interviews, which is true. And our policy is not to do our internal stuff publicly. That's a little more dubious. They have put transcripts out in the past. But the key question here for you, Daniel, is do you have any indication at all, and if you do, I want you to show it to me or tell me about it, that they did falsely edit this interview to help Vice President Harris?
Well, here's what we know, Bill. On Sunday of last week, they aired the 60 Minutes clip. Bill Whitaker asked one question and got one answer. On 60 Minutes the next night, Bill Whitaker asked the exact same question on the tape, but got a completely different answer. That is, it seems to me, the definition of manipulating the news, when you have the same question with two completely different answers. And that's
All right,
why
but let me jump in. CBS says it did that because to shorten it up, they didn't have time for the complete answer. You know what a bloviator Kamala Harris is. What do you think of that reply?
I think CBS has a duty to be honest with the American people. It's the American people's airwaves. It's something that they're licensed to use, and they owe the American people transparency. It's so simple, Bill. Like you said, just release the transcript and we'll put this issue to bed.
There's no doubt about that. I'm just trying to get into the fabric. So you don't have any information that says directly that the fix was in, they tried to help Kamala. You haven't seen anything like that, correct?
All we've seen is what the American people have seen,
Okay.
and that's two different questions, or two different answers to the same question.
Now, you know that the FCC under President Biden, who's in office until mid-January, isn't going to do anything. You know that.
What I know, Bill, is that when a Fox affiliate in Philadelphia aired a story that was supposedly biased on January 6th from a few years ago, the Federal Communications Commission kept the investigation open. The Biden-appointed chair ordered public comment on the complaint that was filed by a left-wing media group. So if the FCC is going to take that complaint seriously and order an investigation, it needs to apply the same standard to the complaint we've filed.
Needs to is never going to happen. You know how political games are played. Final question. You guys are also after ABC News for their debate bias. Explain that action to me.
Absolutely. The Federal Communications Commission, again, has a standard in law that says debate moderators must be neutral, impartial, and nonpartisan. They can't favor one candidate over another. What we saw in the ABC News debate was consistent bias in favor of one candidate. And we learned afterwards from public comments from the moderators that it was designed that way, that the fact-checking system ABC used was intended to target just one candidate, President Trump, which is why it shouldn't be a surprise during the course of the debate. The moderators intervened, intruded into the debate again and again on behalf of the vice president and against President Trump.
And what do you expect the FCC? This is different from the CBS complaint. It's a different complaint. Do you expect the FCC? See, they're going to say, "Hey, that's your opinion." Daniel Suhr is a conservative. He's going to get an opinion, so we're not going to really do anything. Is there any hope? The only thing that I can see is the congressional hearings when they finally come back on all this stuff, and that'll be after the election.
I'd welcome Congress to look into it. I think it is indicative of where the American people are at, Bill. You say this all the time. There is such distrust with our major media institutions because of the consistent bias we see. And somebody needs to do something about it, whether it's Congress or the FCC or President Trump. the American people deserve better than what they're getting.
Well, I hope so. But I don't know about Trump because he wants it all his way. I don't know if he's going to go in and demand fair and balanced, but that's for another day. So you and Trump have filed with the FCC. We'll follow the story. How can folks get it, follow your organization, the Center for American Rights? How can they follow it?
Yeah, it's real simple. We're americanrights.org. Find us on the internet and read about the complaint for yourself. We're transparent. I hope CBS will be too.
Okay. americanrights.org. Thanks, Daniel. Appreciate your time today. Thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on X. Look for @Bill O'Reilly.